Live. Week 13, Thomas.
How's it going?
And playoffs are getting close.
Oh, yeah. Like I said last week, I feel like the playoffs have started. There's so many close matchups right now. People need to win. I think it's playoffs already.
We have two sponsors today, Raging Bitch IPA and Stella Artois. Thomas, things are heating up.
They are. It's neck and neck out there. Very close.
These last 2 weeks have a lot to play. I'm going to break into game one this week. I have the 5-7 White Lightning Black Hammer against the 6-6 Refuse to Lose. CBS poll projects Refuse by only 2. Refuse leads this series 8-7. I'm taking the upset with White Lightning Black Hammer to win this by 12.
Are they out or do they still have a shot?
It's a pipe dream.
Okay. My first matchup here is the 7-5 Bulldogs versus the 3-9 Funny Guys. Bulldogs are 7-5. I said that all-time series is 6-5-1. I don't know who has the tiebreaker. It could be an even split here. I believe Bulldogs won the matchup earlier this year. Current projections this week are 93-105. The Funny Guy just seems hot. They seem like they got a hot hand after last week. Nobody projected them to beat Child's Play, and they pulled it off. Almost won high score. So I'm going to take Funny Guy to continue their upset ways and go for that high score week to win here by 4.
And computerized, technically, he's out, right?
Oh, he's gone. Bulldogs are in, though.
We want to just remind all the teams, even if you're out, and there is a few, play it out, man, because your game against whoever else is probably going to mean something.
Mean something to somebody.
Yeah. Second game of the week is the 3-9 Red Zone Warriors versus the 7-5 Washington Foreskins. And Tom, he gets his first. Foreskins gets his first win after going 6-0 last week.
That's a good sign. Maybe he's going to take what would that be? 5 or 6 in a row here.
That is true, but I'm taking Red Zone to win this.
Okay.
By probably 20.
Okay. The next matchup here, 7-5 Buffalo Tots versus the 0-12 Slam Bammers. Again, Tots won earlier this year, and they also played each other in last year's championship game with the Tots winning there. All-time series is 3-1 in the Tots' favor. Current projections are 105-83. I think that's a little skewed. I think it'll be a lot closer than that. I am going to take the Tots here only by 4 because Slam Bammers has to win one, right? They got to win one. I'm going to be lying if I said I hope they get one this week because I don't, but I think they could upset anybody.
And we have the Raging Bitch. Game of the week is the 8-4 Hot Stars versus the 7-5 Fear of the Turtle. Hot Stars coming off a devastating loss to Primetime. Could have won the division with a win there. Not a bad team, but neither does Fear of the Turtle. Fear of the Turtle wins this by 37.
Okay. I think for my next matchup, I think I would like to introduce the guest of the week here, Child's Play. And while he's getting stepped in, he's the next game on the board for me. He is 7-5, and he is playing the 8-4 Thug Nasty.
Show the camera your shirt. Yeah, Child's Play.
Thug Nasty currently leads the division by 1 game. Al is projected to win 109-96. So that's a 15-point swing there on the computer projections. So computer is really liking Al this week. And me personally, I think Al's going to make it tough. He's a champion year in and year out. I think he's going to get this win. So I'm going to project Al to win here by 8. How do you feel about this matchup this week?
I have lots of confidence in myself and in the team. And I tell myself, if I can beat Go Nasty, I can compete just with anyone, considering that he's got his name on that trophy 3 times. And again, I don't know how he does it, but he is. I think that's why I call him the Phenom every time.
Yeah.
My first question is, have you ever met a raging bitch?
I can't say I haven't.
Okay. What about you, Thomas?
I've met a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen a whole litter.
Okay. My final game is a very important game for both of these teams. It's the 6-6 slap 'em to sleep and the 7-5 prime time. If Slap 'em were to lose this game, I would say he would be out.
Okay.
Maybe not 100%, but leaning toward that way. This is a must-win for him. And I feel it's a must-win for Primetime as well. That being said, Primetime leads this series 7-2. Slap 'em wins this one by 3.
My last matchup is just as important as the previous matchup. It's the 8-4 division leading Cooley. He's been leading the whole year versus the 7-5 Bunkin. He's been right there in second on his heels by a game all year. I think a few weeks he was tied. Cooley, surprising to me, leads this series 2-0. Right now the current projections are Cooley 104 to Bunk 102. I think it's a really close game. I think that the running back will be the difference, but I am going to say that Bunkin's receivers pull his team through and he wins by 2 to make this a very, very interesting week 13 next week. If the Tots win, that would be 3 teams tied with 8-4, everything on the line. Cooley and Tots would play each other next week, and Bunkin could possibly still win the division also. So
Basically, what he's saying is right now it's too cluster fucky to break the playoffs in.
yeah.
All right, Child's Play. So my first question to you. Nice season so far too, by the way.
Thank you.
Who's your favorite and your worst player on your team that you start? And it doesn't have to be up there. It might be somebody you picked up throughout the year. But who's your favorite player and your worst favorite player on your team?
My first favorite player was my first pick. I would still pick on making it all over again. My favorite player would be the King.
Fair enough.
And I think a worst player, probably.
I don't want to say worst. Let's say disappointing.
Oh, disappointing. I would have to say Daniel Mooney because it's quite a disappointment.
He's out for the season, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. But looking at the board, I would say
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I would say Darren Waller.
Oh, Waller, yeah.
Oh, Waller's
definitely
been bad.
blew up.
You're taking him 4th, and he hasn't played the majority of the season.
Yeah. That's the second time I picked him up and he's done the same thing to me. I'll probably never get him again, even though I am a Raiders fan.
And before I turn the questions over to Tommy, my last question for you today is, do you think you have a playoff team? And if you do, how far do you think you'd advance this year?
Well, first of all, I do believe I have a playoff team. And I believe I'd probably go to the NFC Championship because another team I'm looking at is Cooley. Great team. Because maybe he's got the MVP, which is Josh Allen, who does his thing every week. And he's beating me midway through the season. I have a feeling I go to the Final Four again to bump into him. Unless there's an upset and he loses in the first round, or I pull out an upset and he can get to the Super Bowl. But I have faith that I can get there.
Okay. All right, Thomas.
So that was actually going to be my first question was, how confident are you that you will make the playoffs? Do you feel like you're going to win these next 2 weeks and get in? Or do you think it's going to take, you think it'll be a struggle to get in?
So far, I got confidence that I can win both games and be right there.
So you'll have Thug Nasty this week, and then you'll end with the Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think is the harder matchup between those two teams?
Hate to say this, but I'm going to go with the Bulldogs because they've been leading the division all season long and they beat me once. Because they got Mahomes who does his thing. They had Cooper Kupp who was out for some time, maybe out for the whole season. That could help me out a lot.
Oh, he's out the whole season.
Yeah.
Oh, that could help me out some. But he did have him, but he does have Patrick Mahomes, and he does have Najee Harris, who is a disappointment.
Well, like they used to say when I was a kid, the cream always rises to the top. So right now you see Thug is now pulling himself on top of that division.
Yeah, that's what he
Maybe they're coming along.
Yeah.
So
I do have one more thing. If you could play, I'm going to give you two teams. If you could play these two teams 100 times in a row, which means that the team that you pick, you would crush every time you played them. Would it be Slam Bammers or would it be Slap 'em to sleep?
Probably Lappa, because he had ups and downs, but I seem to have the momentum against him because he always goes quarterback first instead of getting that go-to guy like a running back or a receiver. So with him doing that, I think I have a more momentum against Slam Bammers.
Does Slam Bammers, and this question for both of you guys, does Slam Bammers win a game this year? He's got 2 left.
I hope he doesn't.
I like to stay here.
So he plays you.
He plays me this week, and then he plays Bunkin next week.
So a question for you: when you're playing a team that's on 11, you're a little nervous.
I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
Because I already lost to Funny Guy by 0.2 of a point, who didn't have a win on the season. And then if I come back and give Slam Bammers his first win, it's going to be devastating to my playoff hopes, for one. But two, I got to be that guy all off season that has to think about I'm the guy that gave him his win. That sucks.
Who does he play after that?
That's it. He's got to wait till next year's schedule.
Well, no, there's 2 games.
Oh, he's got Bunkin after that.
So 2 potential playoff teams.
Very much
He
so.
may go 0-14 then.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never seen that. That's why I'm asking.
in a way, I would kind of like to see it because, one, you never see anybody go undefeated in, 14-0 or 13-0 years prior, and we've also never seen anybody go 0-13 or 0-14
In any league.
in any
Even
league. So I'd kind of like to see it. It's kind of weird.
even when you're not first, your last was in. I think he won 1 game,
1 or 2
1 or 2,
Yeah.
never 0.
Zeros. I mean, you're going to hold that record for life.
But you would say it would be easier to go 0-14 than 14-0.
No.
I would.
You got to think about how you feel throughout that season. I mean, he's probably at this point he's setting a lineup, but he probably doesn't even give 2 craps about
Well,
this
no.
lineup.
I mean, would you?
No, that's why I say he's just putting people in, which thank you for setting a full lineup.
Yes, because years past we've had teams not set full lineups.
We've had teams 5 and 6 not set full lineups.
Yeah.
And
Not mentioning any names.
yeah. So, hell, I've been in a playoff race and accidentally left somebody out, but I am thankful that he set a lineup. I really do hope that I don't lose to him for multiple reasons, mainly my playoff hopes, but that's really it. So
All
let's
right,
be honest.
and I know the video is probably getting long. Let's sum it up. We're going to try to attempt, we won't have a guest speaker next week. We're going to try to attempt a playoff scenario
Next week.
next week.
Next week should really be win you're in, lose you're out
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yo, and I think the 14th game helped that out.
I think right now, I looked at it today, if Bulldogs loses, they're out. Because I have the head-to-head, Bunkin has the head-to-head. I do not know about Cooley. I was kind of focusing on me and Kevin, Bunkin. And we both beat him. So I know Bunkin is probably rooting for him and rooting against Child's Play because Child's Play has that head-to-head. So if my division was to send 3 people, it's going to be because Al loses, not Bulldog. But if Al wins and the Bulldog doesn't, it'll probably be 2-2
Do you want to remind everybody what the
for the end of the year.
what the tiebreaker is?
Tiebreaker is head-to-head, division record, overall conference record.
Okay. And we normally have it decided by those 3.
Right, and if not, hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
Yeah.
So, but we'll go from there.
All right. Child's Play, you have anything?
Not much. Other than that, I have no momentum that I'm gonna make the playoff for a 3rd straight year, which I've never done before.
Hey, it's time to win one then, brother.
Yes, it is.
All right. We want to thank everybody. We'll see you next week. Good luck.
Good luck.